Day to you. Continue putting in a Western Michigan game plan today and really focused on an area that was very important to us last year, which was third downs. You know, thought our group last year did a tremendous job on third downs, being the #1 team in our league, and that's something that sustains drives and equals points. So we worked extremely hard on both sides of the ball with that. Injury-wise, obviously you saw Vianney being held out. He may be held out the rest of the week and then try to get him back first of next week. Everything else, we had a really healthy day out here, so knock on wood, we can keep on having that. With that, I'll answer any questions that you got.
Andrew is in there for Vianney. How comfortable would you feel with either of those freshmen, Austin and Andrew, getting in there if called upon?
Yeah, they've really proven themselves that they can step in and play for us, and that second group is a very talented group. You know, the one thing I think that Andrew has gotten the good fortune of is, you remember, he was a midterm. So this is actually his second camp to go through, and it's really helped being able to double train him both at guard and tackle. It's been advantageous for us and for him. So it's also good to be able to have a Clayton Johnson behind Chuma right now, that you can slide him in and out when needed, Andrew in and out. So good double training for him. You see his body type and his athleticism. He can play either or, and right now he's helping us at the guard while Vianney's out.
On signing day, you talked a lot about adding size, both offensive and defensive line. Have they met your expectations?
Yeah, no question. I mean, you look on that defensive front, and I saw you all talking to Marlon and Brandon Peely and Jay Tufeli. I mean, there's 300-pounders right there bulking that interior defensive line. And then you got a Jake Lichtenstein, who I think is going to be very similar to a Rasheem Green at the end of the day, a 280, 290-pound man. And then we were able, fortunate to get an edge player in Hunter Eccles and an edge player in Giuliano. So we really, I think, bolstered our defensive front. Offensive line-wise, I could not be more happier with the 5 young men that we got. You know, you're talking about guys that we signed, really 4 tackle bodies and a center, knowing that those tackles could go from tackle to guard at any point in time. And we not only were we getting size, but we were getting great athleticism, and we're seeing that. So I couldn't be more happy. I don't know how fast you'll see those 5 on the offensive line. It may be a day, it may be 100 days, it may be a year, but they're going to have very bright futures here. We're very impressed with what they've shown us thus far.
Are any of those guys strictly tackles at this point? Like, is Austin just training at tackle, or are they all?
Right now, he's one shorter of a camp. He's one short of a camp than Andrew. You know, Andrew had the ability to bounce back and forth, so we're just trying to get Austin ready for a left tackle position if needed. But you know, with his size, he probably put the most weight on of any of the freshmen, really, at that tackle position. Probably put 15 to 20 pounds on. And he's going to be a 300-pounder. His frame's too big, so he could, in the future, be able to go inside or out. But we're training him specifically at left tackle.
We're seeing a lot of Josh Fatu with the first team.
Yeah.
What has he shown you in this training camp?
Yeah, I tell you what, he's really shown great competitiveness, and he knows that this is his year, this is his time. He's a senior, and he's going against some really young, talented guys, and Marlon and Peely, and then Kenny coming back now, getting a little healthy. So the competition at that position is what you want to see. To have those 4 men right now battling, that's a pretty good thing. I mean, and he's really stepped to the forefront. He's taken nothing for granted. He understands that he's got men breathing right down his back, and he's got to perform, and he's done that in camp.
Can you tell us a little bit about the family you guys hosted today?
Yeah, we had Taylor out here today, who's been battling leukemia for 4 years. He is the definition of fight on, and he's always wanted to have the opportunity to come out here, be around our guys, catch a ball from Sam Darnold. He was wearing number 2 today. Looked a little bit like the old number 2 on that play, and it was a great breakup of practice for our guys, and just a neat, special moment. So I'm so glad we were able to share it with Taylor and his family.
Have you had a player from Alaska before on a roster of yours?
No, this would be the first one. And he's a big polar bear. I mean, he's a 340-pound dancing polar bear. I mean, he is athletic, and I'm so glad that he is with us. To be able to be where he's at this young of an age, be that big, that athletic, have picking up the playbook pretty fast. It's credit to him and to KU getting him ready. I don't know exactly when he'll step out there, but he's going to be a star here. There's no question in my mind.
If you ran out of tight ends, Would he be an option?
He might be. If you ever see, I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but if you've ever seen him dunk a basketball at 340 pounds, it's amazing. He can get up, and he's a terrific athlete for that size.
Beyond the playbook, what would you say is maybe the biggest challenge for a freshman defensive lineman?
Oh, just the speed of the game. You know, you go from being a high school all-star, all-American, where you probably dominated everybody that you went against, and now you're going against a Nico Fala and a Vianney and a Chris Brown and that type, and the speed of the game is so fast. And the difference between a 17-year-old, 18-year-old man and sometimes a 22, 23-year-old man, that's a big gap, a big window. And I think sometimes the light comes on different for everybody. Usually it's easier for skilled kids to get out there earlier, but sometimes you see a pigman being able to do it. Right now, we've got some sharp young kids that are battling.
Is the starter defensive tackle guy who gets most of the reps, or is that somewhere you cycle guys in? How do you guys?
Well, when you see Clancy, he usually works a 1 and then a 2 group. And obviously, you know, we're going to be able to, I think this time around, because of the trust he has in some bodies and the growth and development of some young kids, be able to use more of our 2s this year. So it's great to see a Connor Murphy really come along, a Christian Rector and a Liam come along. So those are guys that can really help us. And then you look at Marlon and Kenny and Brandon Peely. I hope that we can get those guys in there. But you have a functional 1 group. Clancy tends to lean on that group, and then Sperling can put those other guys in to allow them to catch their breath.
Anything else?
All righty, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all.